stay pace yourself. How you living? Know you thrilling off a sinning. How I got my stripes and pendants back in.
Commons, some day-to-day wonders, questions what people usually ask, and that brings us to girly and boys wonders. Alright, let's go. If I think about all the titles of such videos that are concerned about relations, any kind of relations between people, I would say that one major headline above everything is common dilemmas concerning fresh connections. So that's our title. What are common issues between people? So here are a couple I could come up with. Dilemmas. Let's see how familiar these sound. Games instead of real confidence. Taking instead of giving. Wishful thinking instead of taking action. Standards instead of meeting them by oneself. And avoiding value instead of owning value. As soon as they see opportunities or bright future, they avoid it because they are not ready for it towards that direction. So they avoid it. They don't want to lose it, but they cannot receive it, so they avoid it. And you can always ask yourself or tell for your friend or tell here, what are your sticking points? Where would you like to improve? That's the first step becoming better towards better tomorrow. Keep it real.
Out in the street, run this wild, let it be. Rages.
It's been kind of trend lately, this kind of comparison, what's alpha and what's beta and so forth. What state of frequency? Let's look it up. So many people wonder and ask about these topics. Now these are used as personifications of one's identity. Ways of thinking to simplify behavior. Similar way we talked in the previous video, what's acceptable civilized within a culture. In pretty near future, this alpha and beta and so forth will be bygone thinking because there is overemphasization on identity in spite of personality. Whereas actually personality is more important than identity. More detailed, more nuanced and so forth. Whereas now the discussion of alphas and betas is on that identity level. What kind of behavior is acceptable and tolerated? There is overemphasization on identity and even gender. They walk hand in hand though. Also say that, both men and women can be alpha and beta. But if we look back in history to ancient Egyptians, so long time ago, even they understood within their culture, it's just gender. But altogether, we are human, we are people. And that's it. Because even in ancient Egyptian culture, the hierarchy was not chained to your gender identity. Instead, even females were able to become pharaohs. It was irrelevant if pharaoh has identity of a man or a woman. You should know what is the classical example of female pharaoh. Nefertiti. Study. I'm not ancient Egyptian expert, but even you can study a little bit and you will find out that they had multiple female pharaohs. Even in a way, they themselves did not know if the pharaoh is female because it didn't matter. And that's very interesting how In 2020, we are kind of thrown back into group thinking and drawing the line between at school there are different sports classes for men and women and so forth. It has its pros and it has its cons, yeah. But still, now the discussion is between these betas and alphas, and that is just a simplification of gender identity, and it lacks transcendental understanding what is truly important and relevant within the connection between men and women. And one element of that degree of importance is, of course, collaboration. The whole of understanding what's best for us. This is for us. This is between us. We both think in the realm of happiness in which we are together. Our happiness is wholeness. And that is just exemplifying the basics of more transcendental understanding that has departed from these gender distinctions and so forth. Lastly, an example. What's beta? What's alpha? Basically, the more you strive to be within comforts, inside comforts, that's more beta. But if you can train yourself to live outside of comforts, that's alpha. Pretty basic, but that's it. And when you add this podcast and subscribe to my YouTube channel, we will explore more of these ideas within more mutual and transcendental understanding that's relevant for both males and females, all genders. Catch you up to speed next time. So how change is able to happen within the proximate culture a man is living in? First of all, a man must be able to listen different kind of voices and sounds around him and receive them, even welcome them and understand them. And then a man must be able to participate within that culture and within the different voices of people, and also bring his own voice and view and perspective to the mutual understanding. That's how change happens within culture. A man must make the change. The greatest inspiration a teacher can give a student is the confidence and belief in themselves that they can do it. When you wake up in the morning after not so well slept, then you feel like the machine is it's too big of a deal, it's too big of a project. Then great, we're gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna give you the freedom to try anything. This is the extra shot. This is the extra mile. This is the splashiness, you know? When it is just your whim, your punch, your jump. That is it.